Hello and thank you for joining us. This is The World Now. I am Theophilus Ilama. Eritrea has announced its withdrawal from the Inter-Governmental Authority on Development IGAD, created in 1996. The government says the 8-member regional bloc, which includes Eritrea, has strayed from its founding principles and failed to contribute to regional stability. This decision, announced by the country's foreign ministry, comes amid a fierce war of words between Eritrea and its neighbor, Ethiopia. Addis Ababa has intensified its demand for access to the Red Sea through Eritrea, which was rejected after decades of battle for independence. Eritrea officially seceded from Ethiopia in 1993. The Inter-Governmental Authority on Development, IGAD, says it regrets Eritrea's decision, but noted that it had not participated in IGAD meetings, programs, or activities. Eritrea previously left the bloc in 2007 during its border dispute with Ethiopia, rejoining only in 2023. Well, joining me from the United Kingdom is an international affairs analyst, Paul Ejime. Thank you so much for joining us at this time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's hit it straight now. Eritrea's withdrawal comes along after a long-standing history of tension with IGAD. What factors do you think have led to this decisive move?
So the danger signs had always been there. Remember, these are two countries, Ethiopia and Eritrea, before 1993, like you said, and this issue of self-determination and then self-governance. So Eritrea left, but they've always had this issue about access to Red Sea or where a lot of activities are happening, because the division, that partition in 1993, left Ethiopia without landlocked, without any access to the sea. And so, and you know what happens, that you get a lot of trade and other activities, economic activities happen through the sea, not just land or air. It's a big minus negative for Eritrea and for Ethiopia, and they've been doing everything to make sure that this happened. But also remember that Ethiopia has a very big influence in the IGAD, that regional bloc. So Eritrea feels that it's not getting sufficient support. I think that is why it has decided to quit. But they will continue to have this kind of conflicts and rifts because they are contiguous. They are almost just artificial boundaries that is dividing them. What would have been required is intensive diplomatic efforts to make sure that this does not result in something like this. Is that it's not for IGAD to say, well, you've not been attending our meetings, so you can go, as it were. I think they need also, the more the merrier. They will need Eritrea, because they will need access to that, to the sea. Ethiopia is even still having issues, remember, the Tigray and all that. So there is need for less confrontation and accommodation, and then collaboration and cooperation, partnership. That is what is required instead of what we're having now.
Okay, so you've touched a bit on the significance of Eritrea's departure for IGAD's cohesion and credibility within the East Africa bloc and beyond. What more will East Africa lose by Eritrea's departure from IGAD?
So, I mean, they will lose what they would have gained if they were together, beginning with economic advantages, and then the number. In fact, leaving means that they are less, and in terms of number, and also that there's that air, that poisonous atmosphere does not, or toxic relationship does not, nobody capitalizing on that to bring, because if your neighbor decides not to be your friend, there is a danger. One, it is said that your neighbor is your greatest security person that you can have, or the buffer. So imagine we are living in a world of terrorism that knows no boundary. Intra border issues happening. So if one of them decides to make itself an entry point for the attack of the other one, that will escalate this row beyond just two countries. The whole region will, even the Great Lakes nations will also be affected. So it is in their interest of both countries, and then IGAD to make sure that instead of reducing the number, that actually increase. So they can also get, when you are negotiating as a bloc, it usually comes with a lot of advantages, unlike when you are doing it, if you are going solo. So that is the danger. Eritrea will also understand that it stands a lot to gain by becoming part of the bloc instead of trying to make it becoming a lone ranger in that region.
Okay, so while Eritrea stands a lot to gain with being together in the bloc rather than being a lone ranger, what message does this withdrawal send to other member states of IGAD? Now, could this lead to further disintegration or reform within the bloc?
I think it's a warning sign. So IGAD as an organization, and it will require some introspection to know what they are not doing right, that is making one of their members trying to leave. At the same time, Eritrea, Asmara will be questioning itself whether it has taken the right decision. Because like you said, it left in 2007, and after about 16 years, it came back. So it shows that there is something in it, in sticking together, than running it unilaterally. So I think there is a lesson to be drawn, and instead of just regretting or that one member had left, they need to inquire, investigate, study what gave rise to that, and be able to. So there is no problem in this world that cannot be solved. It all depends on the approach and then the political will, and also the sincerity of those involved. When you are negotiating, you do so from with good faith, not showing a double face with
Okay.
what is it called? Apologies to two Baba of Two-Faced Nigeria.
Okay, but from all you are saying, Eritrea left, and I'm sure you've read the response of IGAD bloc regarding the decision by Eritrea, saying that they have not, since their second coming, they have not contributed immensely or significantly to decisions made by the bloc. Is that the right response? Is that supposed to be a right response to Eritrea's absence?
No, but I also think that if you belong to an association or a group, you have to show commitment. If it is true that Eritrea had just been there just nominally, I think Eritrea should rethink and know where the bread is being buttered. It is not, it doesn't show responsibility of an individual, a country, or an association to say, I belong, and then it's only by lip service. If they have only been, they are there by just name, nominally, then they have to reassess that situation and play the role. It's either you are in it or you are not in it. just like they have come out now to say they are not, they are no longer part of IGAD. But if they are, they must be able to live up to their obligations. And the organization, like I said, is not to drive away your members. Like I said, the more the merrier. They will gain something. There is really something to gain when you work as a team instead of going solo. Let me repeat that. So they shouldn't use just to drive them like that or throw away the baby with the bathwater. They will have to investigate, find out why Eritrea is behaving the way it is behaving, and also call the two parties together. If it is just this disagreement between Eritrea and Ethiopia, I think that can also be solved. And so that they all begin to live like neighbors. That is how it is. It wasn't their choice to be like the way they are. Eritrea could have come from West Africa and Ethiopia from North Africa or whatever. But what they let them make the best of whatever how bad the situation could be.
All right. So I'll read a part of the statement by IGAD. It says here, in this spirit, the IGAD Secretariat will continue to outreach to the government of the state of Eritrea and encourages it to reconsider its position and to fully rejoin the organization in good faith in order to advance shared objectives for peace, stability, and development across the region. Now, with this in mind, how might Eritrea's absence impact IGAD's ability to address regional security issues such as conflict in the South Sudan, Somalia, or Ethiopia?
I've alluded to that the Great Lakes region is plagued by political instability. And I have also mentioned the fact that terrorism and, the kind of world we live in today, there is what you call geopolitical shift, and then the threats it has brought, terrorism and all that, extremism. These are issues that should bother not both individual countries and then organizations, particularly organizations. And it is, you better can fight transnational crime like terrorism when you come as a group. But as an individual country, it's much more difficult. So if they are willing, if they intend to work for peace and security, the more reason they should all come together and not be because it is easy to infiltrate that region when if you notice that the countries in the organization are not working as a team or they are not united. So I think there is something in unity. There is advantage in unity, collaboration, partnership, and then cooperation, and also respect for each other or one another in any organization, and then living up to your obligations. It is not just enough to say I belong without maybe paying your dues or contributing to any decision like that communique is trying to allege. So it's all problems that organizations have, but it also will take some strategic thinking by the leaders of that organization and then the leaders of the region as a whole to understand that there is, a great advantage in flocking together or keeping together.
International Affairs Analyst Paul Ejime, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we have more on the world now. Stay with us.